Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Eureka Springs channel. I'm here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and I am talking today with Mr. Jim Wallace, who has decided to get involved in our government. And you are just a fantastic gentleman here locally. You've done a little bit of everything. You're a volunteer firefighter. You're an emergency response person here. You're an artist. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I am Jim Wallace, and I'm running for state senate, District 5 here in Arkansas. And yeah, I've been with the fire department here 4 years, and I enjoy volunteer service. It's a little bit of my background, my family.
Yeah.
Even a few years ago, I helped organize the Hungry Bowl.
I remember that. That was great.
Yeah,
that was really
we
great.
raised a lot of cash for the food banks of Carroll County, and I like doing that kind of work. It makes me feel good.
Yes.
And I know it helps
well, you've
other
certainly
people.
made a difference for a lot of people here. Why did you decide to do this? What was the...
Well, going back to the desire to do public service, and it just feels like the right thing to do. But like even my own father, who is a doctor, he's a pediatrician. One of the first things he did out of med school was to raise money for polio vaccines. And what he actually did was he mortgaged his own house so he could buy enough polio vaccines for Lancaster County in Nebraska. And that's the county where Lincoln, Nebraska is. And so that was about 80,000 polio doses.
Wow.
And they put out a jar when children were brought in by their parents, voluntary, it was totally voluntary, and free. And they just asked for donations to be put in a jar. And they made enough money to cover the cost of the medicine. Got all of the children in Lancaster County vaccinated.
What an accomplishment.
First
wow.
county in the whole United States
right.
to do this.
So he was pretty much your role model then.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
from
yeah.
going on there.
Yeah.
So tell us why this particular, what are the particular issues locally that you'd like to address?
Well, we have issues with, going back to the Hungry Bowl issue, I learned a lot about our food insecurity here. And we have roughly 25%, I think is the figure people work with to describe the number of people who do not know where their next meal is coming from.
It's a pretty big issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's awkward, I think, for us to accept that. It is unacceptable, but as a fact, we need to accept it that we raise a lot of food here.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
poultry production is huge here. We have a lot of cattle in every county of Arkansas.
That's all right.
And there's a lot of grain production, particularly rice. We actually ship rice to China.
Yes.
Yeah, it used to be the other way. We used to think
Should be the other way around.
yeah, China made all the rice. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's not like that today.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And yet for some distribution issues, we're not able to take care of our own. And
Gotcha.
education's another problem too. We don't rank very well throughout the United States. We're in the mid 40 to upper 40s of poverty,
Yeah.
homelessness, and even in the rural areas, which is where we are, we figure about 10% of people
Okay.
are homeless.
So, well, yeah. So so being involved is really important to you. You obviously had a role model for that. So tell us about you are running for state senator. That's the office you're pursuing. Tell us a little about that state senator. What districts does that involve? What is it? Who's in that district?
Okay, well, let's talk about the counties that are in the district.
Okay.
We're in Carroll County here, and that's most of Carroll County except for the southeast corner of it. All of Madison County, and then we have Johnson County, a good portion of that. Some of Sebastian and Crawford, and did I name all of them? there are seven altogether.
Of them, yes.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big area then, but you're saying that those particular districts don't involve the whole of the county, just the way it's...
Yeah, the way it's
Okay.
drawn out.
Okay.
And this is different than it was in the preceding period from the last census.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been redistricted, and so this district extends further south than it used to.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So, talking about those 7 particular areas, I mean, what do you hope to accomplish on from a state level there? What do you hope to accomplish for those areas?
I think that in part I have some ideas, but let me say first, I want to go visit those areas and the people there and listen to them and find out
From them.
what they need rather than trying to tell them what they need.
I understand.
Okay. I think I'll be better informed once I've done that. It's
Of
a little
course.
early yet in the campaign for me
True.
to get out there and do that yet. I need to, and I will. And I hope to be able to go to the same communities more than 2 or 3 times and
Good.
visit
Good.
with people.
I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you, tell you
I
what
hope,
they need.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I do think there is a bit of a loss of population from what I've read in those rural areas, whereas the more densely populated areas, like the I-49 corridor, Bentonville to
Yeah.
Fayetteville, they've increased in
Absolutely,
population
yes.
while we were losing
Right.
population, and I think some of that may be when our youth grow up and they look around and
true.
they say, well, I can work for mom and pop, but if I have
Uh-huh.
my sights set a little higher, they're moving on
Gotcha.
and they're leaving our communities.
So you're hoping to sort of address that issue?
Yeah, we need
particularly,
better jobs. We need better high-paying jobs to hold on to that talent.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Keep them home.
that's our brain
sure.
drain
Yeah.
and our work pool and everything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, to do that, I think we need to be able to attract businesses that can offer good-paying jobs in those areas. If we're going to do that, then we're going to need to deal with some of the technical challenges.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
means better roads and bridges, but also our internet connectivity
Yes, sir.
has to be.
So keeping people
Competitive.
connected, keeping people connected with the outside world, pretty much you're saying.
Oh, yeah,
basically.
yeah. I mean, we can get some of that here, but it's slow in
It's slow.
many cases.
It is
yeah.
slow. It is
Yeah.
slow. Well, we know we are the hills of the Ozarks. We're sort of
Oh, well, that's
we
right.
get a little caught in little pockets. It's a little even cell phone coverage is
Yeah.
lacking in some areas.
We have
isn't it?
those issues on our emergency medical
I'm
runs,
sure you
too,
do. I'm
know.
sure you do. So
We have times when we cannot communicate with each other with our radios because we're chasing a car that ran off the road deep into a gulch and
yeah,
we're not getting a signal down there.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, there's lots of issues that we don't have time to cover here that I know you'd like to address. Is there a location where people can go and read more about you and maybe look at your platform?
Yeah, we've got a website, jimwallace2018.com,
Good.
and we do have position statements there. We're going to keep adding to it as the campaign goes on.
Right. And when is the voting day?
Well, now there's the primary.
Okay.
Okay.
We got to get there first.
And that's May 22nd.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's the general, that's November 6th.
Okay.
If I remember right. That's the first Tuesday in November.
Okay, right.
That's when we always have.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got to get to the primary and get that done for you. And I know you guys out there, it is so important these days with all the different issues going on in our world. Starting at your state level, get involved and go and vote, right?
Absolutely. Remember, your vote does count.
It does.
And if you don't vote, you don't really get to say much about
No.
how things are
Right.
to your friends and your
Yeah.
peers and say, gosh, this isn't right. Well,
Right.
did you vote?
Right.
Well, if you voted, then you got a stake in the game.
Right.
You know?
It's not, you can't be an armchair director and not get out and vote.
That's
you got to
right.
do both, right?
And some elections are determined by just one vote.
Exactly.
They can be that narrow, that slim, and makes that much of a difference.
Great. We appreciate you guys watching us. Remember to go and vote. Go and see JimWallace2018.com, and I guess they can probably correspond with you directly through that as well if
yeah.
they have questions. You guys be sure and get involved in your government, get involved in your local government, your state government, and of course our nation. It's so important these days. Thank you, Jim.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you being willing to serve. That's the first part of success is stepping up.
It really is. It
Thanks,
truly is.
guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks
Thank
a lot
you.
for joining us. Bye-bye.